Hello and welcome to this video on the benefits of having an emergency fund. Today I'll be sharing with you what an emergency fund is, how to determine the amount you need, and the key benefits of having one. So you want to stay up to the very end so that you can learn more. So first, let's start by defining what an emergency fund is. So an emergency fund is a set amount of money saved to cover unexpected expenses or financial emergencies. It is a way to have a financial buffer or a safety net in case you lose your job, or you have medical bills that suddenly come up, you have car repairs, or your car gets an accident, or any other unexpected event. So that's why you need to have your emergency funds intact. So how do you know how much money you're going to need for your emergency fund? So to determine the amount of money you need for your emergency fund, you'll want to calculate your basic living expenses. So here we are talking about your rent, if you have any loans that you're currently servicing, school fees for your kids, any utilities like electricity, internet, water, your food costs, your commuting fees, let's say if you're working from outside of your home, if you have a house manager, all that you have to include, garbage collection and all that. So you should aim to have enough money saved to cover these expenses for at least 6 months, but you can start off with 1 month and keep pushing it up until even if you can get 12 months, 24 months, it doesn't really matter. So it's important to remember that the amount you need for your emergency fund will vary based on your personal circumstances and financial situation. So if you have a more stable job, which I don't think there's anything like that now, if there's anything we learned from the tech layoffs of 2022 and the Cocomelon dramas of 2020, I don't think there's anything like job security anymore. And let's say you have no dependents, you may need less in your emergency fund compared to somebody else who has a less secure job, whatever that means, and several dependents. So you want to just look at your individual circumstance. Now let's talk about the key benefits of having an emergency fund. So an emergency fund offers several key benefits, and today we are going to look at 5 of them. So number 1 is financial security. An emergency fund provides a safety net in the event of unexpected expenses such as a job loss, medical bills, or car repairs, as I've already mentioned, which can help you to avoid getting into debt, because these are emergencies that happen. If you didn't have any money kept somewhere, then you're forced to start going into debt. And if you're in Kenya, you know we are not short of these mobile loan, I call them sharks, that are just waiting to pounce on you at any chance you give them. Then the number 2 is peace of mind. Knowing you have a cushion of savings to fall back on can reduce stress and increase your peace of mind and enhance your health. And then number 3, a benefit of having an emergency fund is improved budgeting. So building an emergency fund requires that you must budget and know how much you're going to be spending every month, and then you have to save for it, which can help you to better manage your finances and develop a healthy financial habit, which is important for you, especially if you are looking into retiring early, for example. Number 4 is reduced reliance on credit, which is almost similar to number 2, but with an emergency fund in place, you may be less likely to be forced to turn to credit or loans when you're faced with unexpected occurrences, reducing your risk of getting into high interest debt. So you know, anytime you are looking for emergency debt, you're gonna be forced to go to the likes of Mshwari and KCB, Mpesa and Branch and Tala and all those Shylocks. And you know, one thing that is synonymous with them is the unreasonably high interest rate, and you're just gonna keep digging yourself further and further into debt. Number 5, increased flexibility. So an emergency fund can provide you with financial flexibility, allowing you to pursue opportunities or handle emergencies without having to worry about how to pay for them. It also gives you the flexibility of staying at a job because you enjoy it, and like a situation whereby maybe you're working in a very toxic work environment, but you can't quit your job because you're literally living from paycheck to paycheck, from hand to mouth. So you don't even have the can I call it privilege or the opportunity of walking out of a stressful situation. You may be in a relationship that is very toxic, both physically and emotionally abusive, but because you do not have any other source of funds, you're forced to stay put. So having an emergency fund gives you flexibility to live life on your own terms. So in conclusion, having an emergency fund is a crucial step in managing your finances this year and preparing for any unexpected expenses. And by calculating your basic living expenses and aiming to have at least 6 months worth of expenses saved, you can ensure that you have a solid emergency fund in place. Thank you for watching. You want to make sure that you are subscribed to the channel and hit the notification bell, because in the next video in the series, we are going to look at those things that you have to stop doing for you to be able to build an emergency fund for yourself. And on that video, I'm going to be sharing with you one strategy that nobody's talking about that will help you rethink emergency funds. Thank you for staying to the very end of this video. I look forward to meeting you on the next one. Bye, guys.